Hello, and welcome to another one of my world famous puzzles. My name is Morris, and I'm a cat, and I like to solve puzzles. This one is about flying around the world, which is quite exciting. As usual, I am assisted by my not very bright assistant, who will help me present the problem. Take it away, Mr. Assistant. Thank you, Morris. Here is the puzzle. A group of aeroplanes is based on a small island. The fuel tank of each plane holds just enough fuel to take it halfway around the world. Any desired amount of fuel can be transferred from the tank of one plane to the tank of another while the planes are in flight. The only source of fuel is on the island, and for the purposes of the problem, it is assumed that there is no time lost in refueling either in the air or on the ground. What is the smallest amount of planes that will ensure the flight of one of those planes around the world on a great circle? Assuming that the planes have the same constant ground speed and rate of fuel consumption, and that all planes return safely to their island base. As usual, we are going to wait a few seconds, which will allow you to pause the video if you want to solve the problem yourselves. The solution will follow in a few seconds. Whilst you are waiting, if you like to solve puzzles, you may wish to consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. You can do this at the end of the video. The answer is that you can get one plane to fly around the world using 3 planes. 1 to fly and 2 to refuel. Let's see how. Remember, each plane has enough fuel to go halfway around the world. In this case, we are going to let the red plane go around the world, and the blue and yellow planes are going to be used for fuel. All 3 planes take off together. After going 1/8 of the distance, each plane has used 1/4 of a tank of fuel. The yellow plane transfers 1/4 of a tank to the red plane and 1/4 of a tank to the blue plane. This leaves the yellow plane with 1/4 of a tank, just enough to get back home. And the blue plane and the red plane have full tanks. The red plane and the blue plane continue for another 1/8 of the way. The 2 planes have again used 1/4 of a tank each. The blue plane transfers 1/4 of a tank to the red plane, filling it up. The blue plane now has half a tank left, which is sufficient to get him back to the base, where he arrives with an empty tank. The red plane, with a full tank, continues until it runs out of fuel 1/4 of the way from the base. It is met by the yellow plane, which has been refueled at the base. The yellow plane transfers 1/4 of a tank to the red plane, and both planes head for home. The 2 planes run out of fuel 1/8 of the way from the base, where they are met by the refueled blue plane. The blue plane transfers 1/4 of a tank to each of the other 2 planes. The 3 planes now have just enough fuel to reach the base with empty tanks. That was quite neat, wasn't it? Did you solve it yourself? If you like puzzles, then take a look at some of my other puzzles, or subscribe to my YouTube channel to make sure you don't miss out. Bye bye, keep puzzling.